Imagine a country that's cracked the code to endless prosperity, where natural resources, strategic planning, and renewable energy come together to create what could be called the geopolitical equivalent of an infinite money glitch. Sounds like something out of a fantasy novel, right? But this isn't fiction. This is Norway. Join us as we explore how Norway has mastered this formula, transforming itself into one of the wealthiest nations on the planet. Norway, a country tucked away in the cold northern reaches of Europe, has quietly transformed itself into one of the wealthiest nations on the planet. The story of Norway's rise isn't just about oil and gas, though those play a huge part. It's about clever strategy, foresight, and a deep commitment to ensuring that every Norwegian benefits from the country's wealth, not just today, but for generations to come. Let's rewind a bit to understand how Norway got here. In the 1960s, Norway discovered large oil reserves in the North Sea. For many countries, this would have led to a mad rush to extract and sell as much oil as possible, reaping immediate rewards. But Norway took a different path. Instead of splurging, the Norwegian government established the Government Pension Fund, now famously known as the Sovereign Wealth Fund. The idea was simple, yet revolutionary: save the oil money, invest it wisely, and use the returns to ensure a stable and prosperous future for the country. Fast forward to today, and that Sovereign Wealth Fund is the largest in the world, boasting over $1.3 trillion. To put that in perspective, that's about $250,000 for every Norwegian citizen. The fund owns approximately 1.5% of all listed shares globally, giving Norway a significant influence over the global economy. This fund is not just a safety net, it's a powerhouse that ensures Norway's economy remains strong, even if the oil wells eventually run dry. But Norway's story doesn't end with oil. In fact, it's only the beginning. You see, Norway has always been blessed with natural resources, water in particular. The country's rugged terrain, filled with mountains and rivers, has been harnessed to generate hydroelectric power for decades. This renewable energy source is so abundant that it now provides nearly all of Norway's electricity needs. Norway didn't stop at hydroelectric power. Recognizing the importance of a diversified energy portfolio, the country has also invested heavily in wind power. Even though Norway isn't known for being particularly windy, it still has the largest installed wind capacity in the world, with enormous untapped potential waiting to be harnessed. This renewable energy boom means that Norway can keep its oil and gas for export, while relying on hydro and wind power to meet its domestic energy needs. This clever strategy has positioned Norway as a unique player on the global stage. While other countries grapple with energy insecurity, Norway is sitting pretty. The country produces more oil and gas than it consumes, allowing it to export the surplus to energy-hungry nations, particularly in Europe. In 2022, when Russia's invasion of Ukraine caused a massive disruption in the European energy market, Norway was ready. As Europe scrambled to cut off its reliance on Russian energy, Norway stepped in to fill the gap, boosting its share of Europe's oil and gas imports significantly. The numbers tell the story. Norway's share of the EU's oil imports jumped from 9.5% before the war to 13.3% in early 2023, making it Europe's largest oil provider. Its share of the EU's piped gas imports surged to 46.1%, and its liquefied natural gas (LNG) exports to Europe skyrocketed from almost nothing to 6.6%, making it the EU's fifth largest LNG supplier. This increase in demand, coupled with soaring global energy prices, led to a financial windfall for Norway. In 2023 alone, the country earned a staggering $131 billion from its oil and gas exports, a five-fold increase from just 2 years earlier. And what does Norway do with this wealth? They invest it, of course. The Sovereign Wealth Fund continues to grow, providing a stable source of income for the country. But that's not all. Norway is also investing in its future by exploring new oil and gas deposits. particularly in the largely untapped Barents Sea. And as if that wasn't enough, they're building new pipelines to further increase their export capacity to Europe. But here's where the story takes an even more interesting turn. Norway's wealth isn't just about oil, gas, and renewables. The country is also poised to become a major player in the global minerals market, a sector that's critical for the green energy transition. In June 2023, Norway made a discovery that sent shockwaves through the global mining industry. Norsk Mining, a Norwegian company, announced the discovery of the largest phosphate rock reserve ever found, right in southern Norway. This single deposit contains an estimated 70 billion tons of phosphate, effectively doubling the world's proven reserves overnight. To understand the magnitude of this, consider that before this discovery, Morocco held 70% of the world's phosphate reserves. Now, Norway has almost as much as Morocco, giving it significant leverage in the global fertilizer market, a critical component for global food production. But it doesn't stop at phosphate. The same region in Norway is believed to contain large quantities of titanium and vanadium, metals that are crucial for everything from aircraft construction to electric vehicles and renewable energy technologies. Currently, China dominates the production of these metals, with all the geopolitical risks that come with such dominance. But if Norway can tap into these resources, it could provide Europe and the West with a much-needed alternative, reducing their reliance on China and other autocratic regimes. So what does all this mean for Norway's future? Simply put, the country is on track to become not just a major energy powerhouse, but also a leading supplier of the critical minerals needed for the 21st century economy. By continuing to invest in renewable energy, expanding its mineral production, and wisely managing its sovereign wealth fund, Norway is ensuring that it remains one of the richest and most stable countries in the world. But it's not just about money. Norway's strategy is also about security, energy security, economic security, and even geopolitical security. By becoming self-sufficient in energy and less reliant on volatile global markets, Norway is safeguarding its future. By supplying Europe with oil, gas, and soon, critical minerals, Norway is positioning itself as an indispensable partner in the European Union's energy and economic strategies. And by investing in its people, whether through generous EV incentives, high-quality public services, or a robust social safety net, Norway is ensuring that its wealth benefits everyone, not just a select few. In a world where many countries struggle with resource management, Norway stands out as a model of how to turn natural resources into long-term prosperity. It's a country that has taken the long view, investing in its future and ensuring that its citizens will continue to enjoy a high quality of life for generations to come. Subscribe to Truth Revealed to stay intrigued and informed.